What you're about to hear might sting, but it could save you years of your life. There's a certain behavior, a chilling and calculated act, that when someone does it to you, it's not just a sign they dislike you. It's proof they hate you and want to see you broken. The terrifying part. Most people don't recognize it until it's too late. After the damage is done, their confidence is gone, their peace shattered, their time stolen. Stay until the very end, because what I reveal may permanently change how you view every relationship in your life. Let's talk about the hidden poison. You know that feeling, that subtle alarm in your gut when you're around someone, like something's off, but you can't explain why. They never say anything obviously wrong, but after every interaction, you feel drained, second-guessing yourself, shrinking inside your own skin. That's not insecurity or paranoia. That's your soul detecting a predator. Most people think hatred is loud and explosive, but the most dangerous kind is quiet, methodical, and surgical. It wears a smile while dismantling your spirit one calculated moment at a time. After over 20 years of studying human behavior, scripture, and spiritual traditions across cultures, one pattern keeps surfacing. When someone truly hates you, they don't come for your body, they come for your reality. They make you question your memories, your choices, your worth. And the most terrifying part? They do it so gently, so insidiously, that you confuse it with love. This is silent warfare. It's not your loud enemies you need to worry about. They at least show you where they stand. This is about the person who says they love you, while quietly tearing down who you are. They study you, learn your fears and dreams, your deepest insecurities. And then they use that knowledge like a weapon. When you get excited, they deflate you. When you open up about a wound, they twist it. When you start rising, they remind you of your failures. And the twisted brilliance? They pretend it's care. I'm just being realistic. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm only saying this because I love you. Sound familiar? This is psychological warfare. And the most chilling part? Most don't even realize they're under attack until the damage is done. This behavior follows a blueprint, whether it's from a partner, parent, friend, or colleague. Step 1. Emotional isolation. Not physical, that's too obvious. They slowly become your main source of validation. Your safe person. You stop reaching out to others and start depending on them. Step 2. Reality rewriting. When you succeed, they say it was luck. When you fail, they amplify it and define you by it. Eventually, your own memories feel unreliable, and you start leaning into their version of truth. But the real damage happens in silence, in the support they withhold, in the applause they give to others, in the dismissive gestures when you share a dream. They master the backhanded compliment. That dress hides your figure really well. I'm proud of you for trying, even if it didn't work out. You're so brave to put yourself out there like that. These sound kind on the surface, but they're venom underneath. Over time, it builds until you forget who you were before they entered your life. Why do they do this? Because your light terrifies them. Your strength, creativity, and potential reflect what they've chosen not to become. They don't try to destroy you because you're weak. They do it because you're strong. Your brilliance is a mirror they can't stand. Instead of rising to meet you, they drag you down. The scariest part of this manipulation is what it does internally. When someone you trust constantly treats your reality like fiction, your brain adapts. You start doubting your instincts, stop trusting your judgment, and believe maybe you are too sensitive or emotional. You begin to think you need them to see clearly. This isn't just lying. It's a systematic assault on your identity. And the cruel twist? The more broken you become, the more they point to it as proof that they were right all along. See, this is why you need me. So how do you recognize if this is happening? Start by noticing how you feel after being around them. Do you leave empowered or depleted and confused? Observe how they react to your wins versus your failures. Do they truly celebrate you or subtly minimize your success? And listen to how they talk about others. If they constantly judge people not in the room, what makes you think you're any different? Now, the hardest truth: sometimes the person doing this to you is you. We internalize these voices so deeply that we don't need our enemies anymore. We become the critic. We replay their words long after they're gone. We doubt ourselves even when no one's around. Healing isn't just about removing toxic people. It's about recognizing where they've taken up residence inside you. In ancient Chinese philosophy, there's a word, Shen, the spirit of your heart, your divine consciousness. When someone attacks your Shen, they aren't just hurting your feelings. They're severing your connection to your truest self. In Buddhism, one of the highest paths is right speech. It's not just about truth-telling. It's about protecting yourself and others from the violence of dishonesty, manipulation, and silence. The hidden war: how to recognize and reclaim yourself from psychological sabotage. You know that feeling when something about a person feels off, but you can't quite explain why. Every conversation leaves you drained, confused, and second-guessing yourself. That's not anxiety or overthinking. That's your soul recognizing a predator. Most people think hatred is obvious: loud fights, cruel words, blatant attacks. But the most dangerous form of hatred is quiet and calculated. It smiles at you while slowly dismantling your spirit. After decades of studying human behavior, ancient texts, and spiritual teachings, the same pattern keeps emerging. True hatred doesn't attack your body. It attacks your reality. It distorts your identity, makes you question your memories, perception, and worth, until you no longer trust your own mind. And the most terrifying part: they make you believe it's love. This isn't about obvious enemies. They're easy to spot. This is about the person who claims to care about you while secretly undermining everything that makes you, you. They study your dreams, fears, and vulnerabilities, not to support you, but to use them against you. They deflate your excitement, twist your pain, and downplay your strength. They'll say they're helping. "I'm just being realistic. I don't want you to get hurt." Or, "You're too sensitive." But this isn't protection. It's manipulation. Psychological warfare disguised as concern. It always follows the same pattern, regardless of whether it's a partner, friend, parent, or colleague. First, they isolate you emotionally. They become your emotional center, and you start depending on their approval. Then, they rewrite your story. Your successes become flukes, your failures become defining traits, and your past gets so twisted that your memories feel unreliable. Finally, they erode your sense of self with subtle, consistent attacks. Withheld support when you need it most. Praise for others, but silence for you. And backhanded compliments like, "That dress hides your figure well," or "I'm proud of you for trying, even though it didn't work out." These are poisons disguised as kindness. Over time, you forget who you were before they began. They don't do this because you're weak. They do it because you are strong. Your light reflects everything they've refused to become. Your existence threatens their smallness. This was never about you being too much. It was about you being a mirror for what they've buried inside themselves. When someone you trust repeatedly distorts your reality, your brain adapts. You stop trusting your gut. You begin filtering truth through their lens. You wonder, am I really too sensitive? Too dramatic? Too much? This is gaslighting at its deepest level, an assault on your very essence. And the cruelest irony? Once you're broken, they use your brokenness as proof that they were right all along. See, this is why you need me. So how can you recognize when this is happening? Ask yourself, after being with them, do you feel energized or hollow? Do they celebrate your victories or minimize them? Do they support you in pain or subtly enjoy it? How do they speak of others when no one's watching? And here's the hardest truth. Sometimes, the enemy isn't outside. It's inside. We internalize the abuse. We adopt their voice as our own. We become our own jailers. In ancient Chinese philosophy, Shen is the spirit of the heart, your divine essence. When someone attacks your Shen, they're attacking your true nature. Buddhism teaches the sacredness of right speech, not just avoiding lies, but avoiding any speech that separates someone from their true self. Taoism reminds us that those who shrink others only reveal the smallness in themselves. True power uplifts. It never diminishes. This pattern is ancient, and so is the wisdom that warns against it. The truth they don't want you to know is this: their opinion of you is not your truth. Their version of your life is not your story. Their limits are not your boundaries. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You are powerful. And that's why they targeted you. Weakness doesn't threaten the fragile. Strength does. So how do you break free? Acknowledge the truth. Don't minimize it or explain it away. Don't rush to forgive before you've felt the sacred anger. Your pain is real. Your anger is holy. Let it speak. Rebuild your inner compass. Start small. Trust your own instincts, your own yes and no. Over time, you'll reclaim your ability to trust yourself fully. Separate your voice from theirs. When you hear doubt, ask, is this me or is this them? You owe no loyalty to the lies that broke you. This journey is not just recovery, it's reclamation. You're not returning to who you were. You're becoming who you were before they taught you to doubt it. It's spiritual archaeology, unearthing your golden core beneath the rubble. Every time you trust yourself, speak kindly to yourself, or celebrate without their approval, you weaken the spell they cast. Healing requires boundaries, new ones you never knew you needed. It's not about being cold, it's about discernment. Some people will resist your transformation. Let them. Their discomfort is proof your boundary is working. You don't just recover, you discover. You find strength, creativity, joy, and courage that had been buried. All that time you spent proving yourself to them. It's now yours, to build, to dream, to rise. Their hatred was never about you, it was about what you represent. Freedom, growth, change, everything they feared in themselves. Once you've healed, you'll recognize the signs in others. Your healing becomes a light for those still trapped in the dark. This is how trauma becomes wisdom. This is how pain becomes purpose. This is how you become unshakable. The person who tried to destroy you unknowingly gave you a gift. They forced you to find your inner authority. They made you dig deeper than you ever thought possible. That doesn't mean you thank them. It doesn't mean it was meant to be. It means you're powerful enough to turn poison into medicine. And your freedom? It's not just for you. It's a message, a revolution, a ripple effect. So stop asking, why did they hate me? Ask instead, now that I know who I truly am, what will I do with that power? Because that power, the one they feared all along, is finally yours. And now that you've reclaimed it, there's no stopping you.